Okay, today we're going to talk about how not taking into consideration the fact that two different languages can embody a very different sentiment and nuance could lead to a lot of misunderstandings. So, for example, we're going to look into the verb enjoy. Yes, 즐겨요 can be translated into enjoy. Yes, it comes from its display form, 즐기다. I just inflected it into its actual form, present tense, according to the rules of inflection route number one. Okay, so once again, yes, it will be translated into enjoy. However, are they identical when it comes to the sentiment, the nuance they embody, and therefore how they are used? I would say no. Because in Korean, 즐겨요, enjoy, is a word that is usually used in these two specific tailored situations. Number one, when there are elements, there are factors that make it hard for someone to purely enjoy. Therefore, they have to try to enjoy. They have to figure out a way to enjoy. For example, let's say my friend was given a very good opportunity, but when it's time to perform, he is stressed. He is not purely enjoying that situation because he's going to say, yes, I know that this is a very good opportunity and I am very lucky. However, I am feeling so much mental pressure that I have to perform well. So I am not purely enjoying the situation. Okay, so, well then, now there is a factor that is making it hard for my friend to purely enjoy mental pressure. So in this case, I can use the word 즐겨요. I can go to my friend and say, try to enjoy it. Yes, try to look at it from this perspective. I understand the mental pressure. I understand that aspect. But try to think of it this way. A lot of people work very hard to get the opportunity that you have right now, and a lot of times they end up not getting it at all. Okay, so if you look at it from that perspective, you might be able to enjoy it. So in that case, I can use 즐겨요 because I am, yes, acknowledging that there is a factor that is making it hard for my friend to purely enjoy mental pressure. Therefore, I'm saying, well, try to enjoy it. Figure out a way to enjoy it. Okay, so the second specific tailored situation is when you are giving off the nuance that someone worked hard, very hard. They have overcome obstacles, adversities to finally get to a point where they can finally enjoy. So, for example, let's say, yeah, after 30 years or maybe 40 years of working, let's say someone has finally retired. Now, in that case, I can say, oh, yeah, now you can enjoy. Please enjoy. You've worked very hard for 30 and 40 years. You finally retired. You retired now. Well, now you are in a position where you can finally enjoy a little bit. Of course, you could have enjoyed your job as well, but finally enjoy the things that you can enjoy after you retire. Okay, so now, once again, 즐겨요 can be used, yes, in these two specific tailored situations in Korean. Now, if you do not take into consideration the difference between 즐겨요 and enjoy, from that perspective, that could lead you to a lot of misunderstandings because let's say I didn't know that 즐겨요 is usually used in these two situations, two specific tailored situations. I thought that it was just enjoy. And therefore, I said 즐겨요 to my friend in a situation like this. Let's say my friend says, hey, don't wait for me today. I'll be late. I'm going to go get some pizza with my sister. Okay, so let's say I said, I was just trying to say, oh, pizza with your sister? Okay, that sounds nice. Enjoy. 즐겨요. Now, if I do that, my friend who was about to leave to meet his sister and go get some pizza, he could, well, stop. Because he's going to say, he could say, huh? Did you just say 즐겨요? Enjoy? Now that sounds very ominous, doesn't it? Because it could sound like I'm saying, hey, it's going to be hard to enjoy. Yeah, something is going to make it very hard for you to enjoy. Well, good luck, tough luck. So my friend could say, huh? That sounds very ominous. Is something about to happen? Is something going to happen? Do you know something that I do not? Okay. Or it could sound like I'm saying, oh, you worked very, very, very hard. You have overcome a lot of obstacles and adversities to get to a point where you can go get some pizza with your sister. Let's say that's not the case. Well, my friend could also be confused, saying, huh? Well, I no, I can just go meet my sister whenever I want to and just go get some pizza. What are you talking about? Okay, so you see where misunderstandings come from? Misunderstandings don't come from wrong translations. No, they come from correct translations, but when that correct translation is giving off the wrong nuance, because two different languages embody a very different sentiment and nuance. So once again, I always emphasize misunderstandings don't come from wrong translations. No, they come from correct translations when that correct translation is giving off the wrong nuance. Okay, so then the follow up question can be okay, well, then how do I say enjoy in situations other than these two? Well, the best formula that you can go to is to use an adverb and a verb that fits the context. So, what do I mean by adverb? Well, extremely, brightly, heavily, calmly. Okay, and find a verb that goes along with it that fits the context. So, for example, yeah, if someone is eating something, some kind of food, let's say, yeah, my friend getting pizza, going to go and get pizza. Let's say I want to say, oh, enjoy. Then I'm going to take the adjective delicious and the display form of it, and I'm going to apply a simple trick. A simple trick that I can apply to change an adjective delicious into an adverb deliciously. Of course, there are 5 tricks that you can use to take the display form, a display form of an adjective, and change it into an adverb. But the most useful one, in the sense that it can be used almost in all situations, is to take ta and simply change it into ke. The other 4 methods we will talk about in the future, but they are a little bit more specific. Okay, so I took delicious and changed it into deliciously. And then I'm going to say eat, 먹어요, of course, comes from the display form 먹다. I inflected it into its actual form present tense according to the rules of inflection route number 1. So 맛있게 먹어요. Eat deliciously. So as a way of saying enjoy the pizza, the food, I'm going to say eat deliciously. Okay, for example, let's say this time my friend is going to go, let's say, canoeing, or let's say he's going to go to a swimming pool to swim. He likes swimming. So if I want to say, oh, okay, enjoy, then yeah, I can also use the verb do. It feels like it's going to fit the context, right? Because it's some kind of activity. So I can say 재미있게, that comes from the adjective entertaining. 재미있다. Once again, I'm going to change it into entertainingly by removing 다 and replacing it with 게. 재미있게. And then 해요, do. Of course, that comes from 하다. Okay, the display form 하다. So 재미있게 해요. 재미있게 해요. Do it entertainingly. As a way of saying, do it in a way that allows you to be entertained.